Hi, I'm Victor Agreda Jr. with the Unofficial Apple Weblog, and I'm here this week at WWDC 2011 with MacTech magazine, and to us shooting interviews with developers and talking about the keynote. And I'm here with Tim DeBenedictis of Southern Stars, who we saw actually at the MacTech conference. Their product, which is this really cool serial cable, and they have a really cool app that's for astronomy. It's really, really cool stuff. But Tim, we'll get to that in a second. First, I want to talk about the keynote. Some of the things that were mentioned in that, iOS 5, Lion,
Sure.
And iCloud. What do you think about that, just personally?
Well, thanks, Victor. I definitely have a lot of good positive reactions to what the new developments are. We are releasing a Mac desktop version of our Sky Safari iPhone app, and really what we're doing with it exactly mirrors what Apple's trying to do with Lion. Combine a lot of the fluidity of the iPhone interface with the desktop application. We're definitely going to make use of the full screen mode.
Excellent.
So what we do is astronomy, which people are into it because it's a pretty very visual beautiful kind of area.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really feel like the Mac desktop lends itself very well to that.
Oh, that makes sense. And you guys have a beautiful iPad app. So is there anything like iCloud or any of the other features in iOS 5 maybe that were talked about, of course, not under NDA, but that were talked about that you guys might tap into?
Sure. Well, actually, some of that taps into very well one of the problems we have right now on iOS. One of our more popular features in our iPad app is something called observing lists, and this is where an amateur astronomer might decide he wants to come up with a list of 10 or 15 things he wants to look at in the course of a night, and then he can work through them as he's out there in the field with his telescope. Well, right now, these lists you can send them to yourself by email. It's kind of a pain in the butt to back them up. People post them to web servers. iCloud is the natural solution for this. I mean, it allows them to be synchronized to a central repository. You create it once, instantly it appears everywhere. Mm-hmm. You might be able to create one in our Mac version at home, before you go out, and then sync it up to the cloud, and then pull it out when you're out in the field. So that's
on your iPad, yeah.
Exactly.
That's
so it's a perfect solution for a problem that we've got right now.
That's cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the thing that you're holding right there in your hand.
Sure. Well, this is Skywire. This is actually the world's first made-for-iPod serial cable. We actually developed this to talk to computer-controlled telescopes initially, but it's actually a generic serial interface for iOS devices. It's the first one of its kind that allows you to work without having to jailbreak your phone. We developed this with Red Park Engineering in Emeryville, who are the same folks behind Keyspan. That's a very well-known brand for Mac accessories as well. So it's a very solid product, and we've had very, very good results with it.
Yeah, it's pretty freaky, I have to say, where we saw you guys with the iPhone controlling this telescope. That's very, very cool. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the iPad app and about how that's worked out for you guys on the business end.
Sure. Well, so we just released Sky Safari 3, and this is a major new version of our apps. And we decided this time around that we were going to also do a very, very high-end Pro version. And we priced it on the App Store at $60, actually half price for the first month. And our thought was, well, it's a $60 iPad app. Maybe we'll sell one or two a day. And somewhat to our surprise, that's what everyone is buying. We're actually selling hundreds of them a day. And what we've learned from this is that people really want your best, most professional work. I mean, there's a lot of $1 free apps out there where the mentality is, well, let's just get it out there as fast as we can, capture 100% of the market share. And if you get lucky, that'll work for you. But the vast majority of folks, they're going to do this, months of work, pour their heart into it, put it out there for free, and then make nothing. Our experience is that, listen, you're developing an app which is as complex as desktop software, costing hundreds of dollars. And yet people's expectation is that on the iPad it should be about the cost of a pizza. Well, in the long run, that's not really sustainable. Yep. And so, with this new experiment, what we found is that our customers are really willing to pay for really solid quality work and world-class support.
Well, kudos to you guys on that. I think the race to the bottom, that's absolutely right, that people are finding that 99-cent apps may sell a lot, but at a certain point, you've got a point of diminishing returns.
Exactly.
And people are going to pay for quality, and you guys have a great quality app.
Yeah, so this is Sky Safari 3. This is the newest release version of our iOS app for astronomy. And the thing that grabs people about astronomy initially is that it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, you'll notice that Phil Schiller used the term beautiful in his talk about the new iOS features 14 times. We've tried to make an app that's not only pretty, not only beautiful, but also useful.
It's Sky Safari.
That's right, Sky Safari 3.
Yep, and the Skywire, which is really cool as a former hacker geek guy, like RS-232 control from your iPhone is just like so cool. And Tim DeBenedictis with Southern Stars, thanks for joining us.
Victor, it's a pleasure.
And I'm Victor Agreda Jr. with the Unofficial Apple Weblog with MacTech magazine here at WWDC 2011.